The man opened his eyes and found himself tied to the bed. The woman raised the hammer in her hand and slammed it down.
Almost done. Just one more.
Paul never imagined that this woman could be so violent, because just a few days ago she saved him like an angel. Paul thought he had met a kind guardian. So when Annie asked to read his manuscript, Paul agreed without hesitation.
You'll never realize what a rare treat you've given me.
When Annie reached page 40, she objected to the vulgar content in the story. Paul tried to calmly explain his creative ideas, but at that moment Annie had already put herself into the heroine. Suddenly Annie lost control of her emotions and terrified Paul. All he wanted at that moment was to recover quickly and leave this place. But that night Annie suddenly rushed into Paul's room.
You dirty bird. How could you? She can't be dead. Misery Chastain cannot be dead.
Paul hurried to explain that he had reached writer's block. He planned to end the series, but when Annie heard this, she suddenly lost her temper.
You did it! You did it! You murdered my misery!
Annie!
And I don't think I better be around you for a while.
Paul watched Annie walk away. He dragged his broken leg off the bed. Paul crawled toward the door in pain, but just as he reached the handle, he realized Annie had locked the door on her way out. Paul felt completely hopeless. When he woke up, Annie was staring at him, but now she seemed like a different person. She was not angry that Paul had tried to escape. Instead, she even apologized for what happened last night. Paul looked at Annie's unpredictable moods. He realized fighting back would only get him hurt, so he forced down his fear and anger and apologized to her. Then Annie brought in a brazier she had already prepared. She poured gasoline over the manuscript. Then she handed Paul a match. Annie told him to burn his own work with his own hands. Paul tried to reason with her, but Annie poured gasoline on him as well. She forced him to choose between burning himself or burning the manuscript. Paul had no choice but to throw the match onto the pages.